paths chosen by the loser. We have a domination going down, and it's SHROUD-X holding the high ground. And I love this, Cozy, because they get to dictate when they want to take the fight. You can wait for the point to unlock and then drop down so you can actually get something for all of your efforts. While Shikigami set up around their crew walls and a kidnap. Yoink! And even the Magneto bubble to help Days in this moment. First blood for Shikigami as the rest break down. The Vanguard's removed from SHROUD-X and a first fight win for Shikigami.
Okay, Shikigami, I see you out there. Days with a huge kidnap against Window, just shutting them down fast. That was an absolute huge and electric way to start to say, hey, we may be 0-6 coming online here. We have almost the Kraken impacts coming for both teams. It's going to hit it by the next fight, and we're going to have our invisible boundary as well. This is a huge start to the matchup, already getting some percentage, 25% heading into the next battle, and they're about to jump in and get this thing started.
SHROUD-X looking for some initial damage for this Kraken impact to really hurt where the sun don't shine. And you always have the Meteor M to suck up some of this damage. And it kicks off with Shikigami. So proactive on the play. But with a maiden here in the invisible boundary placed by Ricky, there's a good base to play behind. And this is going to force SHROUD-X to really hesitate on that approach because you're gonna have your sight line cut off. So great first pull from Shikigami, pushing this Wolverine away. They got to keep an eye on Doomed. Here's the Meteor M and the Luna ult, and the Meteor hits the backline. Goodbye, Ricky. Some heals left from Dinks, your solo strategist for the day for Shikigami. And remember, they have the point captured. This is already accumulated to 70%. Kraken impact time, though, from Vision, your MVP of that roster, paired with Doomed. That is a deadly duo.
Wow, with Window going down early as Groot, I thought things were going to shift again towards Shikigami, but great focus here from SHROUD-X, really changing the tide here and having to use some of the ultimates, but we still have a Window ultimate, which we did not see Groot play, or Window playing Groot all that much last time, and so it's going to be interesting to see how he kind of comes into the fold. He has been picked out a couple of times, but a nice point grab there, and they also have Fidel with the Fate of Both Worlds, the Luna ultimate still on lock, trying to hold down, trying to get this early pick Vision, trying to get the claw, take it behind the Groot wall, and get a tank. It's a core strategy in top play, and it's been working out well for all the teams.
Waiting for the Strangling Prison 2 from Window. No strategist ult to counter this. It's just going to be about this Magneto, if you can block the damage or the ult entirely. And it's the Strangling Prison catching all of Shikigami in their grasp. Protective walls come up from crazy. But what's really crazy is Days tossing up both Vanguards from SHROUD-X. And here is the Fate of Both Worlds. 2 or 3 more strategist ults out the window. And this is SHROUD-X buying time. They have the point and they have ults backing them up. Meteor M and the Kraken impact at the ready, used in tandem. And this is about to wipe out Shikigami and toss the lead back in favor to SHROUD-X.
Yeah, you listen, I know there's a couple ultimates they're going to want back there. We had both strategist ultimates pop at the same time in both Luna and the Invisible Woman. Never want to try to do that when you can. And on top of that, I know Days wants that Wolverine back into the Luna that Videl. All he had is that one ultimate, and they were able to have that just completely keep the team alive. Vision, great patience there on the Kraken impact. Waited for both those ults. He knew they were both out at the same time. They could not do anything to protect it. As a portal's coming in from the high ground, Shikigami has one more fight to give. They do have a Kraken impact, but Window does have his Groot ult to stop things. Let's see what happens.
Oh, Doomed is so well peeled for, and the Groot walls are so well placed from Window. But man, this team is suffering. Their health is getting quite low, and Dongman is the only sacrifice. Shikigami have good trades. The Strangling Prison gets all of SHROUD-X, and the Invisible Woman barrier is only so much. Again, a great Maelstrom from the Strange, but look at Vision. All these low HP targets. 1, 2, and 2 to lose. SHROUD-X with a huge comeback to take point 1.
Vision picking up right where he left off at the end of day 3. Capitalize on their ultimates here.
Yeah, you think the first fight matters, but Shikigami, they were not able to close it out in the end. What a pull from Vision. Wolverine Vision escapes, got the peel of the strategist as Shikigami have a ton of ults banked up. And that's the big decision, right? You give up round 1 for a chance to kick off round 2. Invisible boundary first from SHROUD-X. And Shikigami, this was to try this was to try and counter that damn Wolverine of Days, who did manage to live on through. Still looking for kidnaps, got some low HP. The Vanguard's in trouble from Shroud-X, and this Fate of Both Worlds, the Luna ult from Fidel is a little late, but maybe you could salvage the fight. Going to the damage boost is the purple aura, keep in mind, but it's just been all heals. With Shikigami all up in your face like that, I do not blame Fidel whatsoever, but it will be Shikigami with more than enough real estate to cap.
Yeah, not even using that much. I mean, a Maiden, fantastic. They say, if you take my Hela, take my Star-Lord, that's okay. I'll play some Winter Soldier. And Days was typically the one playing the Soldier. Now he's on that Wolverine flex to counter, obviously, Window. And the group that we did, again, not see too much from Window. A lot of Magneto play from Window and Strange last time. Wondering if he's a bit uncomfortable on Groot or if he's just kind of coming into things as it's been a little bit there. But you got to give Shikigami credit on how good they played that last bit. Now, we do have a lot of ultimates to set up here, and we can go with the Groot ult right into the Meteor M if they want to try to get things going, usually saving that Meteor M for the Invisible Woman. Nuck about to get that strategist ult. He's going early with the Meteor M. Can he land it? They're all together, and it's exactly what I thought. The Groot into the Meteor limit. My God.
Again and again, but it doesn't even matter. What a deadly combo from Shikigami, especially the poke to force out all the walls from the Groot. Shikigami, though, halfway to forcing round 3.
My gosh, that was awesome. I did not know if they were going to try to put those together or try to counter the strategist, but that was well-timed and well-played from our Vanguard players. Again, it's so hard to get this point back as they're locked and loaded. We do have some good ultimates on the other side. We're going to have one strategist, at least the invisible barrier, to help out Nuck and Vision into the Kraken impact. That's what they're going to try to get rolling here as the Groot is doing a great job. There's the invisible barrier, and Vision's trying to capitalize. Groot walls are in the way, though, unable to get anything as Days is going in for the Wolverine ultimate, not securing a kill, but Vision getting down Scatter, making this so far a 6v5.
And this was Days who had that initiation, but they're the ones suffering, and there was a Team CC doomed, the Wolverine ult that completely caught Shikigami off guard, got them to low HP. SHROUD-X just need to focus down, and that is exactly what Dongsman does. And that means
wow.
do a 0 to 100 comeback, Cozy.
I mean, I am shocked. I am shocked that they were able to get that point that successfully. Days, unfortunately, not able to capitalize on that Wolverine ult. Now, Dogman trying to get a little bit of poke going, trying to get something happening, get them uncomfortable there as the Groot trying to make things uncomfortable for Shroud-X as Shikigami doing their best to try to get some separation. We see Days is going against Wolverine. Doom versus Days up top. Wolverine versus Wolverine. You're thinking it's Clone Rumble as Vision trying to get that early pick as well. Can he get a claw to try to get that Groot uncomfortable? No, but does take down the Wolverine.
Oh, the Groot bump! Come on and slam! And welcome to the Shroud-X jam! Vision, Penta, Shroud-X with a lot more to go, but that hurt.
My gosh. All right, 47% to 97%. If we're looking at what we have available, at least Shroud-X, they do have Fidel and Nuck with the strategist ultimates. They can stagger these and really make this fight tough on Shikigami. Shikigami, though, we just saw it. The Groot into Meteor M, and it did a good job at it. Now, if we look at the Kraken impact here from a Maiden, they're going to try to look if they can sneak that out before and get the pick on one of the strategists so both ultimates don't come out. A Maiden going in now. There goes the first ultimate for Fidel. And can they get him? No, too late on it, but no, the damage coming down with the meatball. And there we go. A first pick happening. Deeks going down from Dogman, though, and the invisible barrier to hit as well.
Okay, numbers in favor of Shikigami with that invisible boundary, and the isolation on that Groot is huge, and the execution on Window. Shroud-X have to contest. It's overtime for Shikigami. Here is the teleport. Vision is there, levitates. Groot up next. Luna ult drop from Fidel as they group up for one final fight. And to invest this, instead of worrying about round 3, Shroud-X believe that they can take it here and now. But Days on this Wolverine is a problem. The group up, Shikigami, they all put their eggs in the Wolverine basket, and it's Doom versus Days. Who can carry through? This wood is really sturdy, guys. Overtime dwindles. Shikigami, though, will be losing the point. It's Dogman actually versus a Wolverine, and I think there's one haymaker left in the tank. But where the hell is this guy going? Get back here!
Wait, he stepped off. Okay, he just So that was a little cat and mouse game that we from saw the Wolverine. Days, we typically seen him on Winter Soldier. Absolute beautiful ultimate, and honestly just carry on that last match. They're opening up with the Groot ult immediately on both strategists. Nug Fidel trying to stay alive. Good peel over there from Dogman, keeping them alive.
Yeah, good Nuck barrier too. Just playing through the choke, though, is so tough to do. You want to be on this point, especially against the Groot walls. And Vision, an insane finish after the pull. And after Crazy goes in a little too deep. But wait, the passive is forced out of this Wolverine. And Days can thank this Invisible Woman barrier from Ricky to keep him safe, to have this a stalemate. Here's the response, though, from Nuck, his own Invisible Woman barrier. And you got the Meteor M. Shikigami putting their Meteor M into the other Invisible Woman boundary is quite the move. It did not work out, and Doomed is farming on the Wolverine.
Yeah, huge Wolverine play. The Wolverine play on both teams is the difference right now. They try to shut down the Invisible Woman to get that pick to shut down the ultimate, unable to. And as we see now, Doom trying to get that elimination on the group, but goes down instead. Dogman the window to peel and help out that Wolverine. So yes, the group got the Wolverine, but SHROUD-X did a great job rotating and now securing and taking that point back over.
Can they defend it? This is one of the best points to play Groot on. As soon as anyone walks out, you can be isolated. Of course, these walls can be broken down. It takes a lot of effort, though. All depends if you want to go for an isolation wall or one that's going to survive throughout the fight. That is the decision that Window has to make. And be careful, that Wolverine ult from Doomed. He's searching, he's lurking in the top right, and the Kraken impact, as soon as anyone gets low from Shikigami, all can be invested here as SHROUD-X wait for the kidnap. The Wolverine does not land that there from Doomed, and Shikigami from the high ground, they are going to drop as a team. Remember, Days has the same objective, setting up his team. Kraken impact first from Vision, not landing too much damage, and no resets available. The Strangling Prison from Crazy, and that means Fidel has to use the Luna ult to keep everyone healed up. No deaths from the side of SHROUD-X up until now, up until Ricky and Vision exchange blows, but the point is still in favor of SHROUD-X.
There you go, Fidel. Keeping the team up into the fight. Fantastic play there. Days jumping off to conserve the passive and to try to rotate correctly. Huge counter ultimate there, keeping everybody alive. And that's, you know, the unfortunate thing about the Groot ult. Can shut it down, but they did have to use the Luna ult, so they are able to now do a little bit more pressure as Nuck has his ultimate. But if they can pick that off with the Magneto that's building up for Scatter there, that's going to help them win this team fight. 79% building up, 24%. Shikigami has not had it since the beginning of this map. This is to take the first match here. Can they come through, Lemon? Here we go.
The invisible boundary can kind of slow down the pace of things, so Ricky and Nuck have to choose this carefully. Wolverine versus Wolverine. The claws are out, and he made the cat mad. Invisible boundary from Nuck first. A big ultimate from Doomed. Did get some good CC, a good toss of forces out the strategist ultimate from Dinks to keep everyone from Shiki healed up during the moment. But this only buys you so much time, and maybe not within that Luna ult aura. Doomed to find some isolated targets, and this is still anyone's game. I think only a one-man advantage from SHROUD-X's side, and we're in overtime. But wait, Ricky's trying to save the day. The invisible boundary out to buy some time, but SHROUD-X have no fear. They step up, and they're Kraken impacting into your strategist. Goodbye, Shikigami.
The timing of Vision's patience is what is paying off there. Waiting to use the ultimate for the right time, the right window. And can we talk about the kidnap off the map?
On the defense first. And since you just had that Scarlet Witch appearance, you have a small moment to use the Magneto sword with, but Shikigami, it's all about the dive. Getting through this choke, though, is difficult. You immediately lose line of sight. So speaking of that, we're about to say goodbye to this Magneto. Holy cow, chopped up like sushi. But still, the support from Ricky is insane. And even Dinks as well at a distance. And the resurrect from Rocket Raccoon has been huge for Shikigami.
Huge jetpack use from Doom, able to get that Rocket Raccoon boost, slam it down from the top, but yeah, did get away there. We have the res coming from Rocket Raccoon. That is the one great thing to have it, but they're going to be short and defensible. Venom is trying to cause a little bit of disruption here as the kidnap happens again, but unfortunately kind of gets stuck there on top of that and pays the price ultimately. Doom going down, followed by Vision, both duelists out of the fight, and my goodness, Scatter and Days have not are here to play as the infinite ammo drops, trying to push them out finally, and we're gonna head into now what is gonna be the push of the payload. A crazy first bit of the match there, Lemon.
It really just felt like a tug of war, a back and forth, and having that resurrect from the Rocket Raccoon meant you usually could just keep the party rolling all night long. But can Shikigami keep up that momentum? You could always start with the Venomal just to get everybody a little bit low, but I guess the Galactic Legend works too. And what a brace from Ricky, capitalized on by the rest of the squad, and it all falls like dominoes for SHROUD-X.
Yeah, that was why Maiden wanted to play that Star-Lord. I mean, just seeing a massive impact there right away, the follow-up from Venom. And they both have some good ultimates going to the fight here. Looking at strategists, though, again, Ricky has no more defensive ultimates. So SHROUD-X can just capitalize on that because they're going to have nothing to stop the Kraken impact. They're just waiting for all of them to get together. And I think Shikigami, they might know that here as they're pushing up the point.
Good pressure so far from Shikigami, and you still have the Vanguard ultimates, and with the bubble from Magneto, a Maiden can be aggressive like that, and this has been the player I've wanted to watch, how a Maiden can have an impact. And now on the off angle, trying to get the chase down, and SHROUD-X taking damage, trying to protect themselves. The Meteor M looking for the finish, and Shikigami slams down. He got Ricky at a distance, finishing off the eliminations. There's finally a response from SHROUD-X, but missing vision is gonna hurt, and the convoy is almost at the end of point B, and SHROUD-X need to get this space back. It's up to this Galactic Legend from Doomed above, and Ricky gets bubbled. The lifesaver of this Magneto from Shikigami has done everything he can, but Shikigami need to get back on this high horse and get this payload actually secured. The Kraken impact, it's bubbled, and it got towards the back line, but not the finish to get the resets going. The invisible boundary, though, was forced out of Nook, and Shikigami can wait this out.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably not exactly the rotation you want to have if you're SHROUD-X, missing that Magneto ultimate from Dogman there, but nice little Satos they went into as Windows going with the massive Spore Throw. Vision going in with the Kraken impact, knowing that they have no way to defend themselves from it. Again, Ricky a little bit far from that Luna ult. Daze, though, trying to make a difference. Daze does trade with the Vision, which is a nice way to slow them down and continue this push, but Daze is going to have to reset here, trying to get a little something going. As Doomed, we did see that swap over to Star-Lord was Wolverine. Has to match the output of the other team here, and they're going to reset. Shikigami trying to get something going. They still have 2.5 minutes to get this push.
I like that Shikigami hold this high ground too. It's a power position that would allow them to flank behind and at least provide an alternate angle. Shikigami don't have to fight for too much space right back. SHROUD-X will be able to contest as the cart gets towards the finish line of point B. So they have a bit of space that they can give up, but Donoran's getting really low, and we need to see a fire back. He has a Meteor M to save himself. He won't throw that up, and Window will hold the low ground. Forces out the Luna ult, though. A lot of healing is about to come out from Shikigami. They can conserve this, and the damage boost on top. The Kraken impact too. It's a recipe for disaster, and it's written all over SHROUD-X's faces. A huge win for Shikigami. Although Doom's double kill does make it tricky, but they don't really have much to contest the payload with, so it will be a cap nonetheless for Shikigami.
Yeah, unfortunately a little bit too late there. Window, though, with the nice walls and block off to start that thing up, and Doom trying his best to stop them. They do have a short, they did have a short spawn to get into here, though, but great play from Shikigami. Good use of their ultimates. They have both strategists now without their ultimates, though, so this is going to make it a bit easier for this first defensive hold. But Daze having the game of his life. He's back on Winter Soldier. He played Wolverine the last time, and here we go. We're going to see if Scatter can get an early pick. Window going down. That's going to open up the floor massively. No more Groot walls, and Scatter just using the environment to the best of their ability. Shikigami now playing aggressive, angry. They want this first point. They want to cap it, and they're giving them no space with the Groot gone.
Because of all that contest, though, from SHROUD-X, Shikigami had to use a lot of ults for point B, and to go to this end of the map, it's going to be the most difficult task ahead of them to take their first game in the whole Invitational. That is the goal for Shikigami. This was their map pick, and this is their biggest strength, but now it's the poke battle, as Daze has the Kraken impact. This poke is allowing them, Shikigami, to build up towards those strategist ultimates as well, but it's the strangling prison plus the Kraken impact, and Doom is getting in position behind Shikigami too. There's too many threats to handle, but the trigger's pulled first from Daze. Shikigami on the attack, and the Meteor M, the double for SHROUD-X to handle. They try to buy themselves some space with the Nook invisible boundary, but Window was out of sync, and so was this Magneto ult. There's nothing to really follow up from SHROUD-X. They have their backs against the wall. What a freeze from Fidel, and it rains, it pours, and there's no umbrellas for SHROUD-X. This card has not stopped. There's 90 seconds in the time bank, and SHROUD-X are throwing everything they have, but there's nothing left.
Face cold, they want their meteor back. They're trying to use the bottom route with Window trying to make that separation happen at the beginning here. We have Star-Lord v Star-Lord. That's going to be a massive pick to get things started as the Maiden is popping down early with the barrage in the Magneto bubble to keep him alive, getting nice poke damage in, causing SHROUD-X to back up a little bit, reset as he's going back up to his perch there at the top.
And the rotation from the backside to avoid as much poke as possible. SHROUD-X, though, they're being marked. A Maiden and the rest are watching this all go. But the longer this poke phase goes, the better. As SHROUD-X, the focus fire. Shikigami collapse on them as they try to cut him off at the staircase. Losing Nook and Doomed has pretty much doomed any chances of this fight with a 4v6 comeback. It's definitely possible from SHROUD-X, but they just are putting all the focus into the Venom, which has the most survivability in the game. The more health he loses, the more health he can get back with his ability. And Windows says, I'm gonna take myself out.
Didn't even let him finish the job there. I think a lot of viewers are watching and saying, there's a staircase there? That was an interesting part of the map to have that fight as they kind of peeled around the back there. Looked to take the high ground from the back, but usually don't see a lot of people. That's just how the rotation happened to fold there, as now we have a pretty big ult advantage for Shikigami. I mean, they've got the Kraken Impact, they have the damage amplifier and legendary. This is gonna be tough as the Maiden's opening up with the legendary. Fidel getting that ultimate just in time to keep them alive, and this is gonna be a big one, Lemon, as they're going right to the point, collapsing in.
Shikigami were like shepherds. They were just herding SHROUD-X into this tiny room with the group walls as good protection, and SHROUD-X have some space to work with, but it was only for Shikigami to get their cooldowns back. And the Galactic Legend in response from a Maiden just shaves down all the forces of SHROUD-X, who really thought they had a chance towards the point, and there's less than 2 minutes left, and Days is not even over yet. He's taking out your toes.
Okay, Days, I see you. This has been a great performance from Shikigami. They are feeling confident and ready to go. SHROUD-X, they got to reset here. This has not been working for them, whether it's a hero switch or just strategy change, but they do have the ultimate advantage here. That's all you need. You just need to cap. You have a minute and a half. That's 1-2 fights if you're lucky here to get things going, and this is where they've got to get a pick. Days getting pushed out there a bit. They are pushing in. They can open up with plenty of the ultimates. They've got Window. They've got Dogman's Meteor. Here we go.
This Star-Lord from Shikigami is in there. Oh, like swimwear. Just, my God, and he's alive. And the Venom is there to take all the pressure off of him and able to pop the ability, get that health back, and hopefully dive back towards the team. SHROUD-X, though, they can't tunnel too much on this Venom. One of the last chances now to get the point captured. And it starts with a defensive Luna ult. And then you got the offensive invisible boundary, and somehow strategists are dying in that invisible boundary. And the strangling prison plus the Meteor M is a good combo from the SHROUD-X side. Galactic Legend, though, and the Kraken Impacts collide. All the duelist ultimates out from the defense, but SHROUD-X stand tall. It's still a Fidel Luna ult that comes out at the end to keep the team kicking, to deal with this darn Venom. And at the high ground, there's more that awaits, as Shikigami could recontest, but SHROUD-X are denying that. There's the teleport from the Doctor Strange. The defense is here to play. And he got a Galactic Legend again, this time from Vision. But does he have enough follow-up? Does he have low HP targets? Shikigami are just not dying.
Oh my goodness. The portal comeback, the magic for the first time since I think the tournament. Massive play from Days there. Shikigami snowballs in. Magneto there, Dogman tried to get the multi-kill, but we do have to swap the straight. It is a little too late. Get a slow going, try to get a little bit of uncomfortability on the team. He's waiting for the strategist to go in first. He's about to make the dive, but they spotted him early. That is a common Venom spot. They caught him early, and now he's punishing, and he's trying to escape. The Magneto bubble does save him, but that definitely slowed things down there for Shikigami.
A lot of focus from SHROUD-X went into that Venom last time, which obviously generates a lot of strategist ult charge for Ricky and Dinks. And if you don't get that finish, that's a lot of wasted damage, right? So SHROUD-X got to prioritize properly. There's a Bucky pull onto that group. Able to leave, though. Window will stay calm, cool, and collected with the Psylocke on the off angle. That's going to be a little awkward, but easy for a Maiden, too, to deal with all those squids from Vision.
Good poke damage there from Maiden. If we do look at the ultimates, it's coming close to have something come into play here. They're trying to go up the mainstream, walling off that right side window, trying to get the poke damage, but there's so much damage from Psylocke building up, getting those cooldowns reduced. And we can see up top there, Doomed as the Hela, trying to get a little snipe damage, but the Psylocke Maiden found Hela. Doomed trying to get out of there, unable to by themselves. And now we're having to use, my goodness, we're having to have Daze who's cracking impact. Nothing coming from that, though.
Huge execute. A Maiden says, screw this Hela stuff. I'm just gonna dive you, and knows the combo, but I know something better with the strangling prison plus the whale. That wasn't enough to kill a single from Shikigami, and not a single strategist ult from that defense. But the response is from SHROUD-X having the invisible boundary, but it's the damage boost from the defense that keeps them up. The dance of the butterflies, and how can you tango as Vision be able to keep himself safe for the moment. Fidel's strategist ultimate, the Luna, to help propel SHROUD-X into some space, but it's countered. Ricky is second to go for the dance, puts on a show, but all eyes are on Daze with the Kraken impact, resetting again and again as SHROUD-X fall one by one.
Daze is going crazy, and I don't know if he just put in the reps last week or what. Now, obviously, we had some good ability saving there. Vision good holding on the bubble to counter the Psylocke ultimate. Nothing happening from that, but Daze says, we don't need it. We're just going to go in with a full Kraken impact, wait for those strategist ultimates to go on cooldown, and now everything's reset. But Doomed switching over to Psylocke to now be able to open something, hopefully, without having two defensive ultimates. It's going to be a bit tough here for Shikigami.
Yeah, that Hela was just gonna get hard countered. Such a smart move, as you called. Now that you don't have this Luna ultimate, though, you don't have the Whale Luna ult combo with Vision, but this could still be incredible CC to keep Shikigami locked down. Strangling Prison, too. Name your pick, but there needs to be focus from SHROUD-X. As Daze is on the high ground, Dance of the Butterflies will confirm an elimination on Dinks, and now has to challenge this Bucky, but falls back to support the team. SHROUD-X, invisible boundary, pushing Shikigami against the wall. It's a good contest. It's a good first pick, and it's SHROUD-X that are working on the first pick for the point, and they have Shikigami hiding, and the Vanguards from the defense have no health to work with, so you may want to conserve these ultimates for the following fight. There is a pesky Venom, and Vision is on the hunt, and there's only Prey on the other side, and it's not synced up. This Ricky ultimate was to save that Venom, but too little too late.
My goodness, I mean, great call. They're trying to get that Rocket Raccoon down first, but there's no revive. That was a great pick early, and then they were able to just have that thing snowball in their direction. Vision with the nice caps there at the end as they're trying to push in early, not letting them get back or reset at all. This is what we've typically seen on this map so far, and from the playstyle from SHROUD-X. We do have that Venom in the backline trying to cause some chaos, but that is where the Namor pick is going to come in clutch. And what I pointed out earlier, it's tough to dodge with those turrets, slowing them down, stopping them. Doom now pushing in, trying to get into the backline, seeing if they can get a pick on the strategist, and Doom has a nice little window that they can jump into if they choose.
And the cloak and dagger swap to get away from some of these dives, to blind, to transfer out some of these key ultimates. You got the revives from the defense. Keep that in mind. The Dance of the Butterfly starts from a Maiden to get Vision, a key player, and the collapse of Shikigami, sensing weakness and executing on it. They have now taken a lot of momentum, a lot of wind out of the sails of SHROUD-X.
Yeah, I mean, that was beautiful from Maiden, just waiting for the cooldowns. Probably saw that bubble and unable to protect himself. Vision went down and the rest followed. And I've got to say, Graceman is going off and going crazy as this Venom being a constant disruption. We've seen Venom now kind of going up the tier list, if you will, of heroes of the game, and is definitely getting a lot better, especially in competitive play. We see Graceman jumping down, trying to get something going early, get that distraction. And again, the more health you get from Venom, the more shield he's going to get as he's able to escape with ease, and they reset here.
Maybe also these toss-up to set up a possible Kraken impact. You see Daze is lurking. Won't get hooks, just some initial damage. Backing away. Good macro from Shikigami, but how about this? The whale, the strangling prison, and everything on top. Holy cow, great coordination from SHROUD-X, and even the Luna ultimate, I think, was brought out. I don't know.
Wow.
I saw an aura, but...
I know that was crazy and fast. It just shows what the whale is capable of doing. Window with a great setup, and sometimes all you need is that window in the vision, or to have the Groot into the name. Or as we have Crazeman again, doesn't have his team anywhere near him, and he's like, forget it, I'm jumping in, trying to get things started right away. And there we go. We do have the fate of both worlds. Ricky trying to keep their team alive, and Day still has that Kraken impact and should make an impact. Let's see what happens.
We got the dashes from the Cloak and Dagger as well. The Meteor M goes 1 for 1. We got a 5 versus 5. Dance of the butterflies. But the more targets are in it, it's you're not going to have as much focus in one target. Doesn't matter. The targets were low enough from the SHROUD-X side, and this puts a stop to the push from SHROUD-X. Not able to capture
the
that
carry that he usually is for this team. Window on Doctor Strange, where we've seen him. They've changed now from the Groot. Going to change up some of the strategies overall as they're looking to push up Main Street, but we can see that Psylocke over trying to sneak over Maiden, trying to get some tricky kills from the left side there, and Window not having any of it as he continues to push the aggression.
Yeah, you can be a lot more aggressive when there's not a Groot too, to worry about getting walled off from the rest of your team and all these choke points, and just building up towards some ultimates. And even it's okay to take damage. Don't worry about Window. He is feeding Nook and Fidel as much ult charge as he can. There's also some pressure in the back from Crazy on this Venom. Gets pulled in by the Bucky, and some good peel, especially with the Cloak and Dagger bubble, to give a lot of heals on that side. But still, the disruption of the Venom is pretty big, and will be able to swing out. Space created from Shikigami, but still hasn't been able to step up, but it has been able to build up a Kraken impact from Daze. But man, and SHROUD-X are healthy and well, all thanks to the dashes from that Cloak and Dagger ult against the Kraken impact. That is why SHROUD-X survived.
Wow, barely too. Daze was able to get that ult Kraken impact out immediately. He knew the strategist ults wouldn't be there, but the Eternal Bond came out right in time. Window got down to 37 health, and that Eternal Bond happened at just the right time. 88 health now, and here we go. Scatter, who's been great at the Meteor, is going down for the elimination, and Ricky taking down Window, a massive hit, keeping the team up also with the ultimate. And my God, it is snowballing quickly here as the down goes down as well.
With the damage boost of the Luna ult plus the Venom ult, it's the ultimate combo. Shikigami have a wealth of strategy. It did take them to about the 2-minute mark to capture. These staggers are pivotal for no recontest. Speaking of recontest, there is a 2-man drop from the SHROUD-X side, and this brings out more ultimates from Shikigami, and maybe takes a couple of seconds off. Okay, Daze into the enemy spawn. Are we serious?
Daze is chasing them. He's like, you know what? I got this Kraken impact. I'm going to make sure I secure the kill. And that was just unfortunate because as soon as they came in, Luna had no health and the Kraken impact came online, and they wanted none of that happening. There was no stall in the point. And now they have 4 minutes here. And this is not the Shikigami that we have seen. This is absolute crazy. And I will say this is not the SHROUD-X that we saw last weekend either.
Yeah, really being humbled, and what a pick. Window had the support of his team, and all of a sudden SHROUD-X are falling back, and there was a wall behind them, now in front of them to protect them, but the recontest will have to take an alternate route. But actually the payload is only halfway. Shikigami being so aggressive. They did cap with about the same time that SHROUD-X have, but it all depends, and if you can get to that finish line for Shikigami, I mean, to get the series point.
And here we go. Daze trying to get some type of a hook. Maiden, though, does have an ultimate and is going in early. The protection not there as Fidel goes down. One stretches down, and Scatter takes down the other. And there's nothing they can do at this point other than counter ultimate, trying to get a pick. We do have Window going in with the Agamotto, and okay! Window and Doomed just flipped the script that was almost spelling complete doom there for SHROUD-X.
What did I have, Agamotto? Are you serious? Window, he did that with no strategist. That was quite literally the map saver for SHROUD-X. Holy cow, Window's the GOAT.
That was insane. From the depths they rise, Vision did, and being able to just stop with no strategist, that just does not happen often. And he got like the 5-piece with the Agamotto. It was an ability apocalypse as Crazeman trying to peek early. That 4 minutes has been cut down to 2 minutes, and this is now a lot closer of a map for SHROUD-X and Shikigami.
Oh, and well, SHROUD-X, we're gonna have to fight for every inch of space. Here's a disruption from the Venom, forces out the Luna ult from the other side, and still Dongman gets isolated. Fidel brings everyone back up, staying on the healing ore as much as possible with a non-stop dive. The damage boost from Dinks, and Ricky on top with the fate of both worlds. It's all up to Doomed if he can tilt the scales. It's matched against a Maiden, assassin versus assassin. One strategist down from the defense as the convoy is on its way for the win of Shikigami. 2 minutes left, but man, Shikigami are also going in a little too deep. Magneto, though, is capitalizing on everyone turning around, and a Meteor M towards the sky, and it's a strike through the pins, and Shikigami look like they're on top.
Window able to escape with the cloak, and the scatter says not today with that Meteor M. Beautiful finish, and the shield just coming offline just a little too late as he does close out the ending there. Portal coming in to try to touch. They're able to get on point there. Everybody coming to follow. Window on point now. Eternal Bond coming out from Nuck, which is going to open the room here for SHROUD-X to get things going. And we've got Window with the Agamotto at any minute. Daze trying to get the pull on. Psylocke, Dome going down. Daze is out of control.
SHROUD-X, we're trying to reset, and we're trying to stabilize off of the Nuck dashes that were all over the convoy. And here's the re-engage from Shikigami, and he forces out the Namor bubble, getting up low. The Kraken impact goes towards the backline. A good focus, but Daze doesn't get the reset. Still gets the elimination onto Fidel. Both strategists gone. As Shikigami just need to get to the end. The Eye of Agamotto of Window won't save you this time, and Shikigami take the map.
What a risky Kraken impact, going all the way to the back line. Thought there was nothing to come from it.
But if they're expecting a close brawl, the Magneto sword hurts and hits like a truck. So just being able to ward away SHROUD-X is going to be key. But these Groots, that first isolation into the pull, oh no, there's no Bucky, so that's not to worry about. But still, the kidnap of the Wolverine plus a Groot wall could be big. A lot of space, though, being afforded to Shikigami. SHROUD-X really backing away. We're depending on the hella pokes to get someone low enough, or maybe even the Wolverine to find an angle.
Yeah, this is going to be Maiden versus Vision. Who can get the poke first? Who can get things going for their team? The early pick, the 2-tap, as Dogman's having to push back a little bit because the massive jetpack kidnap was in a tip there, and Window trying to escape. But my gosh, what a way to kick things off and take the fight to them. And we just see Daze picking up where he left off on the first match, going crazy as that Wolverine.
Oh, is Window gonna live on? No, with the bubble too. Window's brought back up to full. That's 2 kidnaps from Daze that have been denied. It's a bird, it's a plane, it's a Wolverine. You gotta worry about it. And Shikigami, it's pretty chill. The progress has been pretty non-stop. And now the eliminations come through. A Maiden, though, ain't seeing nothing with this invisible boundary, but not if no one's in it, or some people are outside of it. Strangling Prison 2. Shikigami have all their ducks in a row, and it's duck hunt out here with the SHROUD-X getting torn apart.
Wow. I mean, hey, listen, if you get one elimination as the Wolverine, that's fine, but I can't believe how much he wanted that Cloak and Dagger out of there. Huge pick for Maiden, getting the second Vanguard out of the fight. And Window being taken out by Crazeman. Looking at the ultimates now, setting up for the next battle. I mean, we have both strategist ultimates for Shikigami. And as for SHROUD-X, they've got the Window set up that they're going to try to do maybe with Dongman. But here comes Dave. He's having no time for the reset, and he's going right into the battle, trying to get another kidnap. And Window's life right now, Lemon, is hell. He's just having a bad time with this Wolverine.
As a Groot main, Wolverine is my arch nemesis. Okay, I don't think that's lore accurate, but with how you can't really protect yourself. It's all hoping that your Magneto bubbles you in that moment. So we'll see if Scatter can help people out. Same thing with Dongman. And you got the dashes from the Cloak and Dagger, giving so much healing to the side of Shikigami to stabilize him in this moment. But it doesn't matter when Dongman uses the Meteor M, and the backlines are in trouble. Still 2 strategists left from the defense. Shikigami, though, they're the ones with all the space. They're the ones chasing SHROUD-X down.
Yeah, good on Dogman there, ignoring the internal bond, just going straight for the Invisible Woman and slowing them down. They needed something to stop them as Daze is just trying to take the battle to them. Invisible barrier going up right away from both sides now, and Groot trying to get in on the action as well. Statters hit most of these today. He hits another as Nuck goes down, taking down the strategist. Fidel's gonna have to use internal bond, does use it. Groot going out as well, trying to get the huge pizza kill, and it's just able to capitalize. Window take down Scatter with now the Hela, Goddess of Death, getting the picks. No one's comfortable in this team fight, Lemon.
Beautiful strangling prison node from Window with the distraction from the Goddess of Death. Shikigami have had a moment to breathe, but they are still down a duelist, but there's still one that's a menace, and the Hela gone for good. Vision fades to black, and Shikigami have fragged out of their minds, and SHROUD-X had a moment to push back, but this convoy is about to get to point B, and I don't think SHROUD-X will be able to stop this.
Wow, it's just crazy. We open up with a mirror match, and then it folds into this. I mean, when you have a mirror, it comes down to skill v skill, ultimate v ultimate. Window, though, switching things up. They're going to change things as they head indoors here. Fantastic play. I mean, Window now has nailed getting everybody into his ultimate several times, but they were unable, now twice, we saw on Shin Shibuya and here, to get the Penta or the Hex kill.
And Thing is just going to be brawling a lot better. So tanky, plus the team up of the Invisible Woman. But you still need to be up close and personal. And against Wolverine, that's an amazing counter, being immune to that CC. But Shikigami got tossed up by a Wolverine ultimate from Doomed, and there is them capitalizing on it. Ricky tries to protect with the invisible boundary, but it's also placed by Nook to keep SHROUD-X anchored in this. Come on, get in there. I want to see what the fight is happening. But Shikigami still look alive and well if you just focus on your HUD, and the Thing is throwing haymakers. It's a wrestling ring when he's around, and Shikigami have such a difficult Vanguard and deal with this 4K from Daze. Are you serious? The ultimate, the ace, and Shikigami progress.
Holy days, this has been the story of this matchup. I mean, Daze is just going off, and Wolverine, it doesn't matter who he's playing. I mean, at one point, Nuck was on a different map. I mean, he could not get there, and I thought they were able to hold things still, but you can't do anything about a absolute wipe from Daze. Huge value on that ultimate, and now they have all their other ultimates to go into this battle. Maiden with the Doom pick early.
And that's a 5v6 that SHROUD-X have to turn around, but they have the respawn advantage. Window is going to keep the convoy contested, but Shikigami, they hunger for the backline. They go after the strategist as Fidel has to dash to safety, giving critical healing. The Goddess of Death trying to deliver just that to SHROUD-X as they try to stealth away, but you can't run and you can't hide from Shikigami. They're coming for your backline, the spawn room doors, and a good paycheck, and SHROUD-X are nowhere to be found. Can they at least contest? Oh, the Groot walls in your face. That's disrespectful. And it's a 2-minute, 16-second time bank locked in by Shikigami.
I mean, looking like that's going to set the tone for the rest of the map.
I was unfamiliar with Daze's game. I said, are you sure you want to go to Wolverine with Doomed, not Dr. Doom? No PhD yet, but wow, Doomed has been awfully quiet this series. Is he silent or has he been silenced? And he needs to be loud if SHROUD-X want to remain in this bracket, in this invitational. And it starts with a poke war. Keep in mind, these Wolverines are looking for something big, and these Groot walls could deny any involvement, any support from the other side. And so far, SHROUD-X looks stable. They're getting progression, and they're keeping their eyes peeled for these kidnappers. Or really the pullers from the Bucky, I should say.
Absolutely. A huge escape from Scatter, jumping way up there, able to pull it down and punish and poke from beyond. We've got the rocket ult coming out right away, but Nut goes down immediately there after that happening. Dogman getting the kill on Crazed Man, but not before there's some momentum happening for Shikigami. Shikigami Daze, as always, you see him on the kill feed. He's getting more as Doom goes down, and at this point, Maiden's just picking up the scraps.
Yeah, Fidel was the only strategist that fight. Nuck went down so early, so you just saw SHROUD-X hemorrhaging and Shikigami taking full control of the fight. But SHROUD-X have a lot of good ultimates coming into this. Crack and Impact needs to be set up for success for Vision.
I mean, we just heard that laugh from Rocket for about 2 seconds before he bit the dust, and that is just an absolute momentum changer there. And you lose the Resurrect Beacon, too. So you have two things go down at once, as we see a little bit of a hella v hella fight. Drew going in, Window trying to get something going. Getting that pick there on Daze is so important. We've seen what he can do to Matt. Scatter with the LeBron from downtown, taking out Fidel, the cloak, and that is a massive hit to get the momentum now back to Shikigami.
Both Vanguard ultimates, though, from Shikigami came out and they only got one elimination. That's just not going to be enough. As SHROUD-X keep the tempo up with the dashes placed. This is where the fight wants to take place. Fidel lays down the groundwork, and Window's about to be put into the ground. 6 feet under. This is a great high ground position, and where is Doomed to challenge this? You gotta mark the enemy hella at all times. The cart will still progress for SHROUD-X, and it begins on the good side. Doomed gets the div, and can he deliver more than that? There's ultimates, there's crack and impact available, strangling prison. That could be the combo, and that will be the recipe to success for the final fight of Point A.
There you go, Vision. Love to see it. Love to see everybody group back together. Maiden had the Hella ultimate too. They're going to Strange back in here, though. This is not the end. They're going to portal it. I think they can get there in time, and Maiden can open up right away with the Goddess of Death. Are they going to save it? They're thinking about it. Scatter has summoned it, and here we go. Bringing the fight to them. They want to win confidently, Lemon, as they're trying to end it. And Vision going in with the crack and impact. Going back after back. Vision taking down Scatter in return.
Shikigami had isolated Window, and he says, "You're going down with me." Drops the strangling prison in the middle of 6 people, and the crack and impact. Vision clapping them right back to the comic book they came from, and that's a SHROUD-X Point A cap, and maybe slightly slower if I wanted to nitpick, but it all depends on the momentum you can build from here on out.
Yeah, huge there. And Maiden used the Hella ultimate, so they were able to get that out of there. Vision, fantastic play there to keep the moment, to keep things going, keep the spark alive, honestly. Doom also has Goddess of Death. Alongside, we have the Meteor in to get that important strategist pick, because Dinks will have the Eternal Bond as we go into it. And again, here we go again. Daze just bringing the fight to them, has his ultimate, trying to get another 5-piece, Lemon.
Yeah, Daze also didn't get pulled by the Bucky because of a critical Magneto bubble from Scatter, from Shikigami, the Goddess of Death at a distance. A Maiden trying to bring them back down to earth, but Doomed is getting the edge against his Hella opposition, and SHROUD-X has some isolated fights to deal with, and a Wolverine that's been a thorn or a claw in their backside. SHROUD-X, though, have gotten the convoy control, and now poking down these Vanguards. Gonna strangling prison. Window won't let them escape, and Shikigami need to make a choice with these strategists ultimate, and it's Ricky that puts the boundary down. Heals back up for the defense, and SHROUD-X are starting to falter.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the Bucky just lost the ultimate completely. Vision, they tried to line it up with the Groot, and there was just nothing to be had. He didn't get any impact from the Kraken impact, and that was super unfortunate. The timing was just a little bit off there, unable to sync it up and get what they were hoping to be a snowball there. Ricky taking down Vision yet again. Vision can't even come out of his spawn. He has to be resurrected by the beacon.
And Shikigami pushing. Spot, who are these kids? Where were they in Swiss? But 90 seconds, or this is the end of SHROUD-X in the Invitational, and this frontline's in trouble. And a full team CC from Daze forces out the ultimate from Fidel to keep the boundaries up, to keep the attacking team safe. This forces Shikigami to step up, and a Maiden does just that, and even will flock behind. The double kill from the backline. Insane stuff from Shikigami, setting up camp at the spawn room doors of SHROUD-X.
I mean, who is this team? Again, 0-6 at the Swiss, coming in here and now spawn camping, who we had one of the top teams heading into this weekend, now facing elimination. This is it. Last potential minute for SHROUD-X. They have to come together right now. They've got 4 ultimates. It's the time to do it. The time is now. And what do they choose to do with this last 48 seconds?
This Hella duel. Doomed has won the 1v1s, but can SHROUD-X win the war? And Doomed, critical picks, one strategist from each team removed. A Meteor that has to be big, and Scatter gets blocked off, but SHROUD-X have no health to play with just one strategist alone with no ultimates to replenish them, and a doomed goddess of death that will have no impact this fight. 22 seconds. This could be the end.
It's looking like it here. Scatter with a nice finish off this kind of stagger doomed a little bit. They're going to have to get together. They have 14 seconds. Not long. They're going to have to make a decision fast now. Whether someone goes cat, someone goes strange. They got to get to the point here as we have Maiden going up with the Hella. Goddess of Death to slow everything down right away. Scatter not letting anybody get a taste of victory as they shut them down, Lemon.
The strangling prison to put a stranglehold, a chokehold on SHROUD-X before they could develop a plan. They go back to their cocoons, and it's a Shroud L at the end of the day. A 3-1 victory for Shikigami as they move on through our bracket.